because that's leather. And we've all been taught that leather is special and has special needs and special requirements, and it requires special tools, special products. Everything about it is special because it's delicate and sensitive and it costs more. I'm going to bring you guys in for a real world demonstration where I will be cleaning the front seat of this 2016 Ford Flex with 181,000 miles on it. What I want to do is walk you through the exact steps that I perform as a professional detailer. So this seat represents a very typical situation where a car has car leather. But it's not all car leather. It's always going to be a combination of vinyl and leather. And when I say always, I'm going to say in 90% of the cases. There is cars when you pay enough, and you're never going to get a seat made out of full leather unless you're paying, nowadays I would say at a minimum $150,000, because the side panels, the side bolsters are always going to transition from leather into a vinyl synthetic material, such is the case here with this Flex. Now really, I actually cannot verify that the center panel is leather or vinyl. What I do know is that this panel here around it is leather. Everything else is or could be vinyl, which is very typical. Why? Simple economics. Leather costs more than vinyl, and not all leather is created equal, just like anything else in life. So the very first thing I'm going to do is inspect what I'm dealing with. I'm going to verify through experience that, okay, yes, I have leather here. This could go either way. This is definitely vinyl. And if we even look over here onto this far right, it's actually cloth. So we have cloth, vinyl, leather, and what I think is probably vinyl. Now the reason I'm uncertain on this is because there's this thing called corrected or finished leather, where literally the manufacturer can correct the grain, and in this case it has perforations in the material. They can put perforations in vinyl and leather. So it's not obvious that it's leather. Based on my experience, I would speculate that this is vinyl, and only this little strip here is leather that goes up and around the back seat, and I know that's also vinyl, which means if you're a car buyer, you're going to be like, wow, I'm hardly getting any leather. Well, very few people really question that. They would look at this, if it was brand new, and say, oh yeah, there's my leather seating upholstery, not knowing that this in fact is vinyl. And honestly, when you're caught up in the emotion of buying a new car, you really don't care. You're so caught up and your brain has gone to mush anyways. So these are the stages that I walk through. I'm going to perform a pre-inspection. What I want to do is identify the materials. I want to identify damage, because you can't clean damage away. I want to identify the type of dirt. Is there any stains that I have to contend with? I want to know the specifics before I come in with my approach, because based on what I observe through the inspection will determine my strategy. Now the strategy does not vary dramatically from car to car, but it does vary enough based on what I see. I only see a few spots that cause attention. Like right here, there's a little black skid mark. There's a little mark here. There's a little mark there. Here I have my arsenal of tools. Now there's two types of cleaner. The Fabric Clean is a concentrate. The directions say, I believe, you dilute it down 20-to-1. It's an upholstery cleaner. Now you could call this upholstery, which it is, but more specifically, it's vinyl and leather. So this is not labeled to be used for vinyl and leather. While on the other hand, we have the leather cleaner by Chemical Guys. Now this in the middle is my spray bottle of Fabric Clean that I've diluted down as per manufacturer labeling. I have my synthetic non-abrasive scrub pad. I have my very stiff nylon scrub brush and my very stiff nylon detailing brush, along with my basic microfiber cloth. Now, the reason I have two cleaning products is, well, to create an absurd moment and show you that in fact you can keep your life simpler. So for example, most people aren't even going to know that this is possibly vinyl, this is leather, and this is vinyl for certain. So if you're going to follow the rules of the industry, it's like, okay, I need a dedicated leather cleaner because that's leather. And we've all been taught that leather is special and has special needs and special requirements, and it requires special tools, special products. Everything about it is special because it's delicate and sensitive and it costs more and it makes sense. So based on the industry, it's like, okay, let's just say I had enough experience to know that this is vinyl and that's leather. So I will follow the industry's rules, and I'm going to spray some leather cleaner here, and I'm going to scrub only the leather, and this is a brand new cloth. So right there, it picked up a little bit of dirt, and the material, the leather, looks better. Now the age lines, whatever you want to call these permanent lines, they weren't there when the car was brand new. This is like the wrinkles on your hand. When I was a baby, I did not have all these permanent wrinkles in my hand. But as I've aged and I've lived life, they form and become permanent. Well, the same holds true for leather, which is part of how I know this is leather versus vinyl. Because vinyl, for example, doesn't age in weather like this. What vinyl does is it just cracks and fails. But based on the industry, it's like, oh, I'm not cleaning leather anymore, therefore I need to get a different cleaner to clean the vinyl. So here Darren is, and I'm going to clean the vinyl separately with my fabric cleaner, which even though it's not labeled as a vinyl cleaner, it's completely acceptable. But wait, I accidentally got some overspray on the leather. I hope I don't ruin it. Now, if you're not picking up the sarcasm in my voice, well, I don't know what to tell you. Not all sarcasm is created equal. I'm actually not that good at it. It's really just cynicism is what you're listening to, because the industry frustrates me. So much confusion, so much hype, so much misrepresentation. And you as a car owner, it's just going to leave you confused. Never mind the endless opinions of so-called experts, particularly here on YouTube. Everyone now gets a microphone. Regardless of experience, regardless of competence, they get a microphone. It's free. They get the free platform. They get to say whatever they want. So that's the good and the bad. The good is that you have endless information. The bad is there's too much information and you become overwhelmed very easily, very quickly. So that's an absurd moment where I'm seriously going to like simultaneously spray this and only get the cleaner on the vinyl so I can protect that sensitive leather. Heaven forbid I get some overspray, which I already did, and you can see it's not eating away the leather. It's not suddenly dissolving into a gelatinous mess here in the car. So that's really what got me literally probably 25 years ago, actually more than that, way before the internet was developed. And I thought, okay, do I really need a special leather cleaner? Because I know this is vinyl, I know that's leather. Do I really need two different cleaners? And what if I do get some overspray of one cleaner onto the other? Will it hurt the vinyl? Will it hurt the leather? I mean, do you see the perplexion? Do you see the problem? The quandary that puts a car owner into? It's like, oh, I gotta protect it. I mean, and if you want to be really zealous about it, are you going to tape this off and really protect it? I think not. So therefore, that led me to think, okay, what if I can simplify my life and use one cleaner? And I'll even go one stretch further, because I literally use one cleaner for pretty much 99% of the interior of a car. because you do have porous material like the carpeting down here on the floor. As I showed you before, you've got the porous material over here on the side, all kinds of different vinyl, different textures. You've got leather perhaps. So that's where I said, you know what, I'm pretty certain I'm going to be safe. And 35 years later, I still maintain the same opinion. You may ask, well, okay, Darren, I actually don't mind having two different products because I'm just going to embrace the idea that leather really is special and unique, and I feel more comfortable and safer using a dedicated leather cleaner to clean my leather. Okay, fine. But what I can tell you is that when leather gets dirty enough, which is often the case because of this thing called life, you kick the can down the road, you know your car leather is getting dirty, you can see it every time you get in and out of your car, but you just don't have time because of this thing called life. And so months pass, next thing you know, 3 years pass, and you've never cleaned your car leather, and now it's become so dirty that you can't stand it any longer, and you reach for a leather cleaner like this, and it just proves inadequate in removing that degree of dirt. Therefore, you either have to live with marginal or mediocre results, or you have to reach for a product like this that's stronger, which is, as a professional, I'm always going to operate based on being incredibly efficient in my processes while producing desired results. So what are the results I want? Well, the results would be I want my leather to be as clean as possible without doing damage. So I know that I can get it cleaner with this than I can with this. I also know that neither one of these are going to do damage, so therefore this represents the winning balance of using one product, makes my life simpler, it's more economical because I only buy one product, it saves time because I'm only reaching and using one product, I only have to carry one product around with me, and I know that it's going to produce better results than this, and it's completely safe. Therefore, why would I not switch to this? I'm just saying. Doesn't mean you have to.